Grand opening, grand closing.
Welcome, my friends, my family, my fellow gamers. Your only friend these YouTube streets, Puerto77. And I think it's time we come to terms that really you got four games, right? Everybody plays games, whatever. But you got like four groups that, when it's the hardcore, they talk about technology and all that stuff. You got your PC gamers, you got your Xbox gamers, PlayStation gamers, Nintendo gamers. Primarily the main platforms, right? But I think right now, PlayStation gamers are the only gamers interested in pushing console gaming forward. Now, hear me out. How do we get to this point, right? First, let's start out with how it was, right? Nintendo used to be a home console brand, producing powerful hardware, but generation after generation, starting from the Nintendo Entertainment System to the Super Nintendo Entertainment System to the N64 to the GameCube, overall sales of the console each generation was getting less and less and less until it hit, GameCube at around 20 million or so, 20 to 23 million, that window, right? That Nintendo decided, you know what, we got to do something different because PlayStation's whooping our ass. Console sales already low. They released the Wii, blew up. It became their first home console that they sold 100 million. Problem is the Wii was too gimmicky and it wasn't something that you can release every generation. So they decided to go back to the traditional console without a gimmick so much and see how a pad would work. Wii U, and it was an abysmal failure. But Nintendo listened to some of the critiques that you couldn't take the pad away, it was stuck at home because it was tethered to the console. And that's when Nintendo realized, you know what, why not just embrace the one thing Nintendo has always been good at, which was mobile games. Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, 3DS, right? DS. Nintendo dominated mobile for a long time. So they decided to merge both strategies to where you have a portable console or a very advanced handheld. Let's look at it that way. That you can dock next to your TV if you still want to play at home. But for the most part, primarily a mobile device, and it was extremely successful. The Switch, absolutely successful. But because Nintendo went this route, the whole power, performance, latest technologies, try to pack in a lot of great technology to get the best games possible, in terms of technical performance and advanced features, wrapped up in a $500 box or so. That's not something they were interested in. So pretty much they're not advancing console gaming at all. They're going to stay in their lane. Rumor has it the Switch 2 is going to potentially be as good in terms of performance as the PS4, something that was launched in 2013. So Nintendo's out of it. And pretty much the fan base. The fan base pretty much just wants to play Nintendo's first party games, and they're more than happy with the level of performance and technology that Nintendo chooses to stick with. Not an issue. PC gamers, they're in their own world, right? Performance has always improved. There's always a new video card, CPUs, overclocking, all this advanced technology. That's the platform that gets advanced the fastest and for the furthest, right? Because they're always more powerful hardware for that one. So as far as console, PC gamers don't really care about console advancing themselves because they already have the platform that's already advanced. What they care about is getting console exclusives onto their platform as fast as possible. They first want their exclusives on the platform, and then when it comes to the platform, they want it day one. So that's all they're concerned about. So they don't really care about advancing console architecture. So now it comes down to the last two, Xbox and PlayStation. Those are the last two audiences that would push console gaming forward. And when before this gen started, as this gen was beginning, as you can see, let's say for this screen, Xbox community and advocates was all in on pushing console gaming forward. They were all in. I mean, this is one example right here. 30% power advantage is a lot when you're talking better performance in pixels, better ray tracing, you name it. Almost every game will look and feel better on Xbox Series X over PlayStation 5. Lots of talk during this gen when it comes to that. Let me show you some more stuff. let's go over here. Critiques of PlayStation. Look at this was Spider-Man as it got remastered with ray tracing. Oh man, you see the detail, and they tried to say that PlayStation 5's ray tracing wasn't good, and you see what they try to do here, right? Given the fact that this is one of the first examples of ray tracing for the new generation of consoles. Let's look at this one. Ray tracing performance on Xbox Series X is 4 times more powerful than a RTX 2080 Ti ray tracing. Yes, 4 times better. No wonder the console can deliver 4K at 60 FPS plus ray tracing without DLSS help. Without DLSS help. That's you can see Xbox community was all in on that. Let me show you some more. Look at this one. I chatted to a few devs and they have confirmed the power difference is quite staggering. However, they have said it doesn't mean you can't make good games on PS5. These fanboys clearly don't care about that and are massively rattled. So you see, they were exaggeratingly destroying the PS5 with power performance. They were all about that. Here's another one. Aesthetic Gamer, aka Dust Golem. But people should get ready for the real possibility that the PS5 is going to end up being the more expensive console between the two. I'm trying not to say much here as I was asked not to, but prepare yourself, which does put Xbox X in a position it will be the less expensive and more powerful console. I use RE8 as an example, but I have heard from other devs the PS5 struggles with 4K games in particular, so you'll see a lot of fake 4K. That doesn't matter to some, but get ready for that too. Xbox X doesn't have the same problem. All right, let's go with this one right here. What's this? Aaron Greenberg. Straight from Microsoft, corporate. 60 FPS will be the standard output. The architecture allows us to support up to 120 frames per second. Who else we got here? Yes. When the performance modes on Series X are higher res FPS than quality modes on PS5. Forza Horizon 5 performance 4K 60 on Series X. You can't catch a break. Okay. Man, you see how bodacious they are and braggadocious. I'm warning. It's going to be interesting to see how often the PS5 GPU and CPU clocks run at their top frequencies. Looks like the real performance of the PS5 will be the 9 T-flop area. And Microsoft is claiming sustained 12 T-flop performance on this Xbox Series X. There's always going to be a gap. Okay. What we got here? Blue's Violet. Even the Matrix is impressive. That only scratches the surface of Xbox Series tech. But on PS5, that already full taped, probably he meant tapped, with tendency to overheat in the long run. No power left in the PS5, even to do auto HDR, VRR, or etc. They need to push that to TV with marketing twist. PS5 was already tapped out early in the gen, according to him. Okay. All right, and this one. Another one. Pretty sure Cerny was downplaying ray tracing by stressing, multiple times I might add, to devs they don't need to use ray tracing on PS5. I wonder, is that because there's a significant performance impact while using it on PS5 compared to Xbox Series X, which has been stated to have no performance impact. So you clearly see, right? Clearly see that the Xbox, and this was April of 2020. You can clearly see Xbox gamers, Xbox advocates, Xbox fanboys, Xbox concubines, enthusiasts, call them what you want. They were all in. Xbox Series X was supposed to be the dominant console. 4K 60 with ray tracing. That was going to be the norm. It was PlayStation 5 that was going to struggle with 60 performance, ray tracing, and 4K, fake 4K and all that. But now, you fast forward, it's funny, 4 years later, we're in April 13th, this was April 22nd, so literally 4 years later from this tweet. 4 years later, and many of these guys don't even play on their Xbox console anymore. They moved on to PC. They abandoned the shit they hyped. You ever notice that? Ask yourself when you see these Xbox console warriors where they actually play their games at. They're playing it on PC now. They moved on. I'm seeing more and more dudes that during around this time, right? Because around this time, games were day and date on PC, and people were telling them, right? And I'm like, yo, buy what you want, right? But if you want powerful porn, all this stuff, right? People saying buy on PC, whatever. It's day and date. Microsoft most likely is not going to deliver, right? And many of them said, no, I'm a console gamer. I don't like PC. I prefer, the ease, how everything is all packaged. And I agree, console gaming is a very well designed bang for the buck package deal. Very simple, $500, $400, boom. Decent power, decent performance. But these guys was pushing the big bang of consoles with this and has completely failed. Now, why is that? It's because Microsoft is pushing Lock 30 with no ray tracing. And with the recent new announcement of Hellblade 2, it's not even native 4K. In fact, it's around 1080p 30 frames. Sub 1440p 30 frames on the Xbox Series X. That's where that's the point where we're at now for console gaming. And the crazy part is, you would think they would be livid and be pissed off, but most of them moved on from the console. Most of them left the console. Most of them not playing on Xbox Series X. Even the ones that said, "Oh, I'm a console gamer, I'll never play on PC." They're playing on PC now. They moved on. They bought a PC. They posted on their Twitter, "Oh, look at my new rig. Look at my new stuff." They left the console, right? So now, the performance of the console, pushing console technology forward, they don't care no more. Now it's play wherever you want. So now, help me out here. Who's left to push console gaming? Who's left? Who's the audience to tell the industry or to tell the first party platform providers, this is what we want from our console? Who's left? Nintendo gamers, they got their little thing. So Nintendo's not pushing technology. Again, PC gamers ain't going to do it because they're on PC. And now some of the biggest Xbox dudes left Xbox. So it's PlayStation. We're the last. PlayStation gamers are the last to advocate, to push the best performance on console, push the best technology and stuff. And thankfully, so far, at this time, it seems PlayStation, Sony, is still doing that, right? Because PlayStation is pushing a mid-gen refresh, right? And they're adding new technology, PSSR, right? Which is, I don't want to say it's a competitor to DLSS or FSR. It's not a competitor, but it's another option. But this option is unique to the PlayStation console, vice FSR, which is made by AMD, but it's generally can be used on even on Nvidia's circuit cards. FSR is available, right, on certain models. So obviously AMD wants to create a solution that was generally for all AMD cards and even for Nvidia cards, and they just wanted something that's general, right? While PlayStation is developing something specifically for the console to help push console gaming forward. Only PlayStation doing that. No one else is going to care about pushing console gaming forward, because Xbox just failed. Been failing for 11 years now, since 2013. With Microsoft's bigger push to go third party, to put games everywhere, Xbox gamers have no interest in pushing console technology forward. They don't care. A lot of them, again, don't even play on the Xbox Series X no more. They moved on. They left it. They now brag Xbox as a platform where they have choices to play anywhere. Even some of the biggest Xbox advocates that told you, keep fighting, Microsoft's going to deliver, even they are now looking at Xbox as just choices to play wherever you want. Where you want to play on a phone, on a TV, on a PC. So Xbox is no longer the console. So when you talk Xbox, to a lot of these guys, it's not the console no more. When you talk PlayStation, you're talking the console. You're talking console. You're talking its hardware. There's no mistake about PlayStation on a phone or anything like that. Even on PC, yes. Even with PC getting games, when people think of PlayStation, they don't think of PC. right? It's still synonymous to that hardware, while Xbox is just a generic thing that who knows what it is, right? So at this point, PlayStation Nation, PlayStation gamers are the only ones that have a voice to push console gaming forward, to push the technology forward, to really anticipate, how the next generation of hardware is. This gen, PlayStation's the only one that's advancing console hardware with the mid-gen refresh. Xbox this gen decided not to do a mid-gen refresh, so they're not getting one. There's talk of Xbox starting a new gen earlier than anticipated, right? Some say 2026 is a potential, right? But with the rumors that's coming around, I don't think it sounds like Microsoft's trying to push console gaming forward. It sounds like they're trying to push console gaming where they're not the only ones responsible for it, which gives them an easy way out when it's time. The talk is designing Xbox, or really the OS, to allow third party to also create their own version of console hardware. So now it's not going to be an exclusive, unique box from the first party Microsoft, studios, whatever, right? Asus, Dell, Lenovo, whoever can make their own Xbox version, right? Their own third party version, right? The thing about that is that's going to be terrible for console gaming, because the one thing about console gaming is having one spec, one SKU, right? To take advantage of. Now you're going to have multiple specs because each company is going to design. And in order for all these consoles to work and run games, it's pretty much a PC, because that's the only way to do it. You're not going to have unique console with unique features and custom design as a console, because that's one of the things about consoles. The corporation, the company, when they make it, they customize it, right? It's not just, hey, we're gonna slap a CPU, GPU, RAM, and boom, push it out the door. They customize it, to really get it optimized at the right price and really come out with nice, good, powerful hardware for the price that you pay for. That's not gonna be possible. Like Asus is not gonna be able to customize their own version, while Lenovo's customizing their own version with different specs, while Dell's doing their own version and MSI doing their own version, and yet all the developers are going to be able to take advantage of the customization. It's not possible. It's going to be generic PCs with just the word Xbox on it. It's a PC. Literally, you can just like build your PC now, take a sticker, put Xbox on it, and that's exactly what they're going to do. It's pre-built PCs in every way with very little to no customizations. It's going to be no customization. And they're probably going to overcharge you too. They'll probably do like the change of UI. Maybe the software operating system has a UI to navigate it. But in its essence, it's a PC. It's a pre-built PC in every way with no console customizations. And why would Microsoft do that? Well, simple. Microsoft will start out launching their own consoles. Then everybody else who's interested will do it. And then once the landscape has plenty of Dells, plenty of Lenovo's, plenty of MSI, Microsoft can start tapering their own production until they completely stop. And now Xbox console hardware is in the hands of just third-party manufacturers. And Microsoft is completely, they wipe their hands. So they'll start it, they'll be part of it, and then as they see everybody's making up, Microsoft will be like, ooh, little by little, because everybody else is buying the Dell version, everybody's buying the Lenovo version, everybody's buying the MSI version, the Asus version, and we are out of hardware. We'll just provide the operating system. Everybody can just do what they want with the hardware. And that's what it sounds like to me. And in that universe, in that environment, that market, it's really just the PlayStation console gamers. That's pretty much the last of the Mohicans. We're pretty much the last, right? And because of that, you're going to see an abundantly huge amount of negativity. Because when you think about it, right? You have the PC gamers, Nintendo gamers, PlayStation gamers, and Xbox gamers. Nintendo's out of it, PC's out of it, Xbox not out of it. So you're going to have those three groups focus on one thing. How can we make PlayStation look bad? So they're going to take any news and spin it into a negativity in the worst way. And hopefully they think that it can trend and just change things. Because what they ultimately want is for Sony to do what Xbox did and just completely not focus on the console, put their games everywhere, and just completely make the console irrelevant. Just go third party, right? And who that benefits? Well, one, that benefits the PC gamers because they get all PlayStation games day one, right? That benefits Xbox gamers because now Xbox gamers won't feel like the losers that they feel because all these years of shit talking like this, they look stupid. They all feel it. They know they're fucking dumb. They absolutely know they're dumb. They are by far the dumbest community. All these fanboys were wrong on everything. Everything. And they know it. They know they said some stupid shit. They need to save face in this community. And the only thing that can save them is nothing. It's not Xbox. Xbox can't save them. In fact, Xbox put them in this position. Xbox made them look like a bunch of dorks. They got no leg to stand on. They just look stupid. Completely stupid. The only thing that can save them is PlayStation not focusing on console, not trying to advance console technology forward, and putting all their games they won on PC. That's the only way they could save face. That's it. How they look is in the hands of PlayStation. But if PlayStation keeps focusing on their hardware, keeps pushing console technology forward, which it sounds like they are. I mean, the PS5 Pro is a good example of they are still interested in hardware. And you already see the bullshit from the Xbox guys. Guys who bought the Xbox One X, now all of a sudden they don't understand what a mid-gen refresh is with the point. And these are the dudes that bought the One X. I'm telling you. PlayStation gamers, we're the last group of gamers that actually care about console hardware and console hardware being pushed forward. Everybody else, either they're not involved or they're all trying to make PlayStation look like a failure. And you know what? That's just the energy you're going to see on Twitter, social media. They're going to be begging and stuff. PCs are going to be begging for PlayStation games day one. It is what it is, right? Xbox gamers are going to be begging for Sony to stop pushing exclusives, stop focusing on the hardware, focus more on putting games day and date everywhere, because again, they just look stupid and they need something to save face. And Nintendo gamers, they're just gonna follow Nintendo's lead. Whatever Nintendo does, they're just gonna accept it. It is what it is. That's whatever, right? So why am I telling you all this? This is the why. Don't even worry about what these jackasses say on social media. Don't even worry about it. They're going to cry. They're going to misinterpret articles. They're going to have false narratives, all that stuff. At this point, it's all about the actual moves Sony makes with their product line. And what I say to you guys is when PlayStation first party releases their first party games with these performance modes and advanced performance mode, let them know that's a great thing. If you bought the game, let them know. Be like, hey, Sony, because I've done it, right? I gave props to the Sony first party studios that gave these performance modes. Be like, hey, great job giving these advanced performance modes. This is a great thing. Keep it going, you know? PlayStation 5 Pro comes out and that PSSR, the pisser does what it does and it does a phenomenal job. I'm gonna be out there, but like, hey, good job, Sony. This pisser technology is outstanding. Keep it going. Make console gaming great again. You know what I'm saying? Don't stop. Ignore everybody else. You know, you deliver the goods, you deliver the products, you deliver the quality. People will buy your PlayStation console. Forget all the noise and all that nonsense. You know? So when PlayStation provides good quality products, they push the technology and takes advantage of technology. Give them a shout out. Let them know, hey, yo, you did good. Because everybody else, they're going to come up with some lies and bullshit and false narratives simply because their brand didn't cut it. And that's just the reality. This is your only friend, use YouTube Streets Puerto77. You know, if you're new to the channel, stick around, subscribe. Please like and share this video out to help the channel grow. I truly appreciate it. Thank you very much. Tune into my podcast, 60 Frames No Lag, every Tuesday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Got a great panel, great conversations. You'll love it. You guys take care.
Grand opening, grand closing.